Sekjen, thank you so much for your time and for joining us on Newsnight. Let me tell you this, Sekjen. Tonight, many Kenyans are quite frankly confused about what is going on. They can't make sense of the events that have transpired over the last 48 hours or so. Help us make sense. Help us understand what exactly is going on.
Well, I think this is not new. We have seen it before. And you may recall, if you are old enough to recall, but those of us who are old enough can recall, this kind of ethnic conflicts, which is incited by leading politicians. We first saw it in 1992, and people died in this country. In 1997, people died. In 2007, even more people died, and younger Kenyans are familiar with that particular history.
Sekjen, I can assure. Go ahead.
We went to a new law in the last few hours, as you allude to. And what is completely despicable is to hear anyone calling themselves a political leader or a leader of any type referring to the former First Lady Mama Ngina with disdainful language, with vulgar vernacular, and that is a new law that we cannot accept.
Okay. I think you've made that...
I'd like to tell you, I'd like also to tell you that I took it up with the Deputy President this afternoon. I actually did call him and we had a discussion on it. And I did make my position very clear that because some of these things are being done on his name, using his name, he has to come out and express himself and to show being contrite about this matter. No buts, no ifs, no beating about the bush and trying to be clever about it. And he did tell me that he had tweeted about it, but I don't think that's going to satisfy a lot of people because I saw the press release from Honorable Koinange. He's very inflamed by this matter, and a lot of mothers, a lot of fathers, husbands, daughters in this country today are very, very disgusted by the fact that the person of the former First Lady, Mama Ngina, who happens to be the mother of the President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is herself a former detainee during the struggle for independence, should be dragged into this kind of politics. It's completely unacceptable.
Okay. Sekjen,
and he did tell me, of course, that...
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask you. What did you agree with the Deputy
this with
President?
You this evening? Well, you can ask.
Yes, that was my question.
Go ahead.
What did you come to an agreement with the Deputy President on the way forward on this, beyond his tweet?
Well, he told me that if you ask me about this, I should also talk about those who have abused him, like he quoted specifically David Murathe. I have talked with Mr. David Murathe about this, but the issue of Murathe you cannot compare with the taking on the former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta. There's no comparison. There's no way by which you can equate the two. I mean, former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta is nobody's peer in this country today. I don't think there's anybody who is her peer. So there's no way by which we can accept this kind of vulgar vernacular directed at her.
Briefly, Sekjen, in 30 seconds, remember we have the broader part of this interview coming up shortly. How would you explain to a foreigner how it got this bad? Because a lot of this is happening within your party. In 30 seconds, how did it get this bad?
Well, those of us who joined this party were under the impression, and are still under the impression, that the idea was to bring the country together. But there could have been some misunderstanding by some of our members that the aim of bringing this party together was to ensure that certain people become president of this country, and I think that's where they get it wrong. I've raised this up with the deputy president. We have agreed we'll meet with him next week, but I can tell you, I rarely talk like this, but this is absolutely unacceptable.